Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. This is Christmas week here in the UK and around the world. There will be a few podcasts this week, probably YouTube clips as well, but they'll be coming out at different times and on different days. After Christmas, there probably won't be much social media from me until the beginning of the new year, just so that you know. And then after January 1st or January 2nd, I'll be back with our weekly lessons, podcasts, and YouTube clips. There's an article in The Guardian today which is all about Christmas and why we find Christmas so difficult. So we're going to read through part of this. It's from today, the 23rd of December. It says, "For many, Christmas is a time of celebration, joy, and tradition. But for others, it brings up trauma, challenging family dynamics, or a profound sense of loneliness. Studies show that stress and anxiety peak during the holiday season as many people struggle with painful memories, unresolved family conflicts, and a struggle to find meaningful connections. Understanding why Christmas can be so difficult can help us approach the season with empathy for ourselves and others." And then it goes on to tell us a story about someone called Steve. But we're going to just jump over Steve's experience. It's a really horrible experience that he had. He says that he found family gatherings difficult. He's now divorced with no kids, and he prefers to spend Christmas alone. He goes on to say that society's image is really messed up of Christmas, and his loneliness is even more profound at Christmas time. And now he's made a decision to spend it with the family that he chooses. And he doesn't mean a blood-related family. He means people in his life that he actually likes. The story continues then to tell us that holidays are often steeped in tradition. To steep is to put something in water and leave it there for a while. For example, you might steep clothes if they're very dirty for a while, or even with food. For example, if you're cooking, let's say, rice, you have to steep it in water for a while to soften it, don't you? So to steep is to put something in water. We use it as a metaphor to talk about something being inside something else. So holidays are steeped in tradition. It goes on to say there's a weight to this time of year, with many people feeling an expectation to reconnect with family members. Unfortunately, family gatherings can be emotionally charged and bring long-standing conflicts to the surface. For people who have strained relationships with parents, in-laws, or siblings, reuniting can feel more like a duty, creating added stress. Whether due to physical distance, emotional estrangement, those who feel disconnected from their families may feel left out during the holiday season. The image of a happy family Christmas is often idolized, but in reality, not everyone can rely on family members for comfort, support, or joy. For many, this time of year is a reminder of unresolved hurts and the family relationships they wish they could have. See, I'm not sure about that, you know. I mean, I think I always felt a sense of duty to my parents, which was fine. But now that they've passed on, I don't feel any sense of duty to anybody else in my family. It's really just choice. And well, I have siblings, but I don't spend Christmas with them. I can't think of anything worse. I wouldn't put myself through that. So it says here the holidays can be a trigger for past traumas, those who have experienced difficult times, whether due to loss, abuse, or neglect, often find that the Christmas season brings memories rushing back. Yeah, that's true with the songs and the Christmas memories. It's very hard to escape those old memories that we have. It says here it's important to set boundaries to protect yourself and remove yourself from situations that affect your mental health. Oh, absolutely. It's okay to decline invitations that feel more obligatory than uplifting. The festive season can be emotionally taxing for those who have lost loved ones too. While the rest of the world celebrates, people who are grieving may struggle. The holidays can amplify their sense of loss, reminding them of the empty seat at the dinner table. Oh, that's certainly true also. And then the story continues. Connection is vital for our mental health, but when the holiday season comes around, the expectation to feel connected with loved ones amplifies the sense of isolation. Yeah, I can relate to that. I can relate to that. So basically, you have a family, and I'm referring here specifically to people like siblings. There's an expectation there that you would actually meet them or talk to them, but you know that you won't. So that amplifies the sense of isolation because you know other people are doing it. And then loneliness is particularly poignant at Christmas when we're bombarded with images of families and friends celebrating together. So it's kind of like you have a family, but you're choosing not to celebrate it with them. Yeah, but on the other hand, you have to do it that way in order to protect your own mental health. So it's kind of a catch-22, one of those never-ending circles. It just keeps going round. And it says here, and yet connection doesn't have to mean spending time with people who drain us. It's easy to fall into that trap of associating Christmas with people who don't contribute to our happiness or well-being. And this is where the idea of choosing your own family comes in. And it says you don't need to have biological family members to turn to. Of course, if you're married, you have your spouse. And it says here, it's essential to remember that family is not limited to those we're related to by blood. You can build a chosen family, those friends who value, respect, and understand us. It can be a powerful way to reclaim the holiday season. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I completely agree. And then it says here, embracing self-care. The pressure to be happy during the holidays can make people feel as if they can't be honest about their struggles. Yeah, I always feel sorry for people who don't drink at this time of year. I made a choice not to drink a long, long time ago. But there are people out there who maybe have issues with alcohol. Perhaps they struggle with it, or they are trying to avoid it because they'll come under huge pressure to drink and get drunk. And this is something that I found, especially when I lived around the south of England. English people channel everything into drinking, whether it's bad emotion, good emotion, holiday time, not holiday time, it's an excuse to drink. And I always feel sorry for people who don't drink because at this time of year, with the mental health pressures, along with the pressures of society, there's a grave danger. It says here you should consider joining a support group. For others, it may simply mean taking time for rest and relaxation away from chaos. Mindfulness practices, small personal rituals that bring joy, such as cooking your favorite meal, taking a walk, etc. Yeah, that's why I like the idea that Christmas is only one day now, because the next day you can go out and have a wander around. It says here, if this season is challenging to you, remind yourself your experience is valid and you're not alone. There's immense power in choosing the people who support you and creating traditions that give you joy. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting story that. Yeah, I must say that I was trying to get a few people on Zoom uh, for Christmas morning just to say Merry Christmas. But I was quite sharply told, sorry, no, 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 I'll be with family. No, no, no. And yeah, that came as something of a shock because I thought that people would want to gather. But no, it seems that they don't, which is fair enough. I mean, I'll be busy cooking anyway. And then the three of us here will be watching some uh, awful TV. And there's loads of podcasts and things I want to catch up with. But it would be nice to say simply Happy Christmas to people in a personal way by seeing them face to face. But yeah, it's interesting. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, so that'll be the last day of the post. So I think so far I've only had a handful of Christmas cards, which is quite surprising. I was expecting at least 10 or 12 of them. I think I've got near enough 5 or 6. So time enough for more to arrive. Tomorrow being Christmas Eve, I'll be buying some tins of chocolates and I'll be taking them to various places. I think the pharmacist, the optician, the doctors, generally the services I use during the year, they'll get chocolates for me, or chocolates from me, I should say. I'll be taking them and giving them chocolates. What else do I need to do in Christmas Eve? Well, there are a few other traditions. Because British people are not so social, we don't get together to drink hot wine or anything like that the way they do in Germany, although you probably could buy those in those little German markets that we have. But I do like to take a final look at the Christmas decorations, a final look at how things are, because then Christmas Day and Boxing Day are very, very quiet. The shops are open, but the streets are more or less empty. So after that, the sales will begin on the 27th, well, 26th as well. Shops will want to move the merchandise quickly, and then by January 1st, everything will be stocked up with Easter eggs. But I do want to go to the sales and see if I can find a good bargain just to get some new clothes, those kind of things. The Christmas sales, which take place from the 26th of December all the way through until the end of January, are good times to pick up a bargain. And there are people who'll be sitting outside the shops waiting for them to be open on the 26th. So that's coming next. I don't eat pork or ham, but I will be making some pigs in blankets, which is another British tradition where you take some sausages and you wrap them up in I think it's some kind of ham they get wrapped in. I'll need to check the recipe, and I'll have that prepared just for the family to nibble on in case anyone drops in as well. So yes, plenty of things to do, But yeah, interesting article there in The Guardian. I can relate to the part about not feeling connected because as you get older, Christmas becomes maybe special in the sense that you have a feeling that you want to spend it with people, but on the other hand, there aren't really many people around who maybe share your values, for example. So you have those two conflicting ideas. I think the story put it very, very well. This is a very challenging time for anybody who struggles with mental health issues. What's really interesting for me as a Skype teacher, talking to you all around the world, I'm hearing you all say, "Oh, Christmas, with the family," and it highlights for me just how broken Britain is when it comes to family. We all have people that we don't relate well to, people we avoid at Christmas time. But yet, Christmas is supposed to be a time of reconciliation. That's the whole point of sending cards. I did send one card yesterday to one of my enemies. I mean, I don't say the word enemy lightly. I wouldn't call this person an well, I did just call him an enemy. So, yeah, I sent him a Christmas card, reaching out the olive branch and everything, just to say hello, how are you? I think what I put in the card was we're living in a world where we're all so connected that we don't actually talk to each other. So it'll be interesting to see what he and his wife come back with. But that was my little moment of showing some peace and reconciliation. And he's not getting chocolate, that's for sure. Yeah, so that's it. So I'll be back at different points this week. If you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go there because there's loads of stuff. I was cooking the other day, some recipes, some olive bread, and I think Venezuelan bread as well. So you're more than welcome to view those and have a lovely time, whatever you're doing. You'll be hearing from me during the week, and I'll be back again with more formal podcasts in the new year. So, I suppose right now I'll say goodbye, and I wish you all a very, very festive season.